doing a battery change on a 2016 Ford Ranger. Now this is the same as the Ford Everests and the Mazda BT50s. In front of the battery here there is a small nut. Now it is a nylock lock nut, so there's no washers there. Now that secures this strap and also a plate that holds the battery in place. Now the strap can just be pushed to the side. I've unclipped this little plastic plate that's in the way just so we've got a little bit more room. Looking here at the negative terminal, it's a matter of removing this 10mm nut that's on the top of the terminal just so that it can be wiggled off the terminal post. Now you can see here, once that's loose, you can start just to wiggle it free and pull it away. Just be careful that it doesn't spring back and connect again to the terminal post, as when we're playing around with the positive side, we don't want the battery reconnected again. Now under the cover on the positive side there are a number of cables that are connected to this terminal, and there's a number of smaller electrical clips as well. However, this is all secured on with this 110mm nut that tightens up the terminal and secures it to the terminal post. My thinking was that if I remove this, that I'd be able to remove all of that in one complete assembly out of the way. However, I was wrong, and there's just not enough room to wiggle it up out of the way and be able to pull the battery out as well. So I'm going to need to remove some of the additional cables that are attached to this terminal post. There are a number of heavy duty cables connected. There were 3 of them in total that I took off, plus I also took off the smaller electrical plugs that were plugged into this terminal as well. With all of these free, it then gave me the ability to lift that whole sort of collection of terminal posts and connectors and fuses up and out of the way so I could remove the battery. On the negative terminal here there is still one wire that I left plugged in. I think it's just going to be much easier if we unplug it and then we can move that wiring right out of the way, ready to lift this battery out. Now there is still a small plate that secures the battery in place that sat underneath that nut and bolt, but if you give it a little bit of a wiggle it just breaks that free and then you'll be able to slide that plate up and off that bolt. Do be aware that when you go to lift this battery out it is quite heavy, so make sure you've got your muscles there ready. The new battery will now just slip into place. This one had a fair bit of sand sitting on the battery tray, so I think it's important just to give it a bit of a wipe out and make sure it's clean before you drop the new battery down into its location. Make sure when you're dropping the new battery in that you don't break or stretch or lose any of the wiring underneath the battery, as that's just going to be a problem for later. Also, the factory battery has some insulation that sits around it, so I think it's important to grab that insulation and wrap that around the new battery in the way that the factory intended. Once the battery starts to sit in place, you can grab that little plate and slide it back over the protruding bolt on the battery tray. Make sure that you don't get any of the insulation caught between that plate and the battery. Now, reconnecting the battery. Whenever batteries are reconnected, you always start with the positive side and finish with the negative. It's the opposite than taking it off. Make sure that little plug that you took out from underneath the terminal is plugged back in, because you won't see it once you put the terminal back on the terminal post. Now all that wiring on the positive side can just be all loosely fitted on. Make sure it's all sitting in the correct location before you tighten anything down. Now that's the positive side done. Close that cover. The next side is the negative. Make sure we plug that low voltage clip back in, slide it over the terminal post, and again use your 10mm socket just to tighten that up. I like to make sure everything is sitting right and that those wires aren't binding up against anything. Make sure also that you do these up nice and firm, but don't overdo them, because it is only a 10mm nut that you are tightening up. Now the last step here is we want to secure this battery correctly into its location. So there is this securing strap that fits over the top of the battery, and then that slides over that bolt that was protruding up out of the battery tray. Remember that plate had already been put in, so it's now just a matter of putting this nylock nut back onto that bolt and tightening it down. Be aware this doesn't have to be done up super tight, but you do want it done up nice and firm, and it can be a bit tricky to line that bolt up as it's a fair way down in that sort of battery tray engine compartment space there. Once that nut has been tightened right down, grab hold of your battery and give it a good shake. Make sure that it doesn't move at all or it's not loose. And do be aware that that strap doesn't actually sit super tight onto the battery. It's just an additional layer to hold it in place. Hey, now with that done, go around, start the car up, and you're finished. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, put it in the comments down below. Make sure you check out some of my other videos. Give it the thumbs up and remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching.